Hello everyone. This is a no save no damage run of Resident Evil 2 Classic, PC Source Next version, Claire B, Original Mode, Hard Difficulty, S rank, with a completion time of 1 hour, 34 minutes, and 5 seconds. Claire's B scenario is accessed from a completed Leon A scenario save, so we actually start the game from the load menu. Original Mode refers to the Japanese item and enemy layout. Hard Difficulty means enemies take more damage, do more damage, and the ammo pickups are different. Handgun rounds get you 20 instead of 15, grenade acid flame rounds get you 4 instead of 6, and bowgun bolts give you 12 instead of 36. More handgun ammo, less of everything else. However, the handgun has a chance to crit, which is great because a single zombie can take up to 31 handgun rounds to take out. Certain actions in the A scenario directly impact the B scenario, and I'll mention the ones relevant to this run when we encounter them. In the first couple of areas, the one street room and the RPD backyard, we're just running by, grabbing the cabin key. In the cabin, grabbing the handgun ammo off the desk, then running through. We're not fighting anything quite yet. Just dodging, going up the stairs to the helipad for a cutscene. We see how the helicopter got there. Into the Crow Passage. Just running through. I like to hug the wall to Claire's right. That gets me through consistently without getting pecked. In the helicopter corridor, 2 lickers. We're just going to run right into the waiting room. Those lickers will despawn once we put the fire out. On the sofa, got some handgun ammo, and into the main hall. Pushing the button to lower the emergency ladder so we can access the first floor of the main hall. Once we're down the ladder, going over to the reception desk and grabbing the grenade launcher, which comes loaded with 6 grenade rounds. Out of the 3 types of ammo for the grenade launcher, grenade, acid, and flame, grenade is the least useful. It has a very short range, it does not guarantee a one-shot kill even from point-blank distance, and it has a high chance to cause a zombie to dive for your ankles and initiate a leg grab. So its usefulness is limited to a handful of rooms. I try to get as much use out of them as I can, and there are a couple of rooms where they are by far the best tool for the job. Unlocking the door to the east stairway. And down the stairs to the east office. One of the few spots I use the grenade rounds in. I only want to use 2, so I'm switching to the handgun to finish them off. Got a crit. Nice. Grabbing the valve handle off the shelf. Before resetting the room, grabbing the handgun ammo off this corpse. And I'm resetting the room because there is one more item that I want to grab. Well, 2 technically, but there's only 1 that I need. Need to do some maneuvering in the small office. Luring him around. To one side, grabbing the handgun ammo. Accidentally started entering the wrong number. It's 2236. Getting the acid rounds. Don't need the map, though. Then running out. I need the acid rounds for an encounter coming up very shortly. Back up the stairs we go. Hugging the wall to Claire's left, then running down the corridor. The crows will despawn after the fire is out as well. Loading the grenade launcher with acid rounds, using the valve handle to put the fire out. In this version, there's nothing to pick up from the wreckage of the helicopter. Before we can re-enter the Crow Passage, we get a cutscene. For our first encounter with the T-103 Tyrant, Mr. X. We hear the footsteps, going to post up by this pillar. I like to try to at least get 2 acid rounds out, but that's okay. We have time and space to get all of them out. There's 4, switching to the handgun. Until he's clear into view. Then going by this pillar, he'll get hung up on the corner for a little bit. And we scored a few crits, and he's down before he even got unstuck from the corner. You'll notice that I was maintaining not too much distance from him. The further away you are from X, the faster he will move towards you. Once he's down, grabbing handgun ammo off of him, as well as the corpse of the guy who was pecked to death. And we will see that X was only down and not out. Fortunately, he does not follow us from room to room. Back in the helicopter corridor, we can see that the Lickers have despawned, because Claire has that very short cutscene there. Into the storage room, running to the back by the statue to grab the blue card key. And in B scenario, we get a Licker. So we're just going to run forward and slightly to the right. And then we're heading back to the main hall. Item box, putting away the knife and the valve handle. I don't actually use the knife at all. Before moving to the west side of the RPD, we need to get the Unicorn Medal, which is guarded by 3 zombies in this mode. We have a lot of space to work with. So we're just hanging back, taking shots. There's a crit. Another one, nice. Got a crit. Of course, that was after almost 2 full magazines worth of ammo. But that's how it goes sometimes on hard mode. Back in the main hall on the first floor. Accessing the computer using the blue card key. Then going to the statue, using the Unicorn Medal to get the Spade key. Claire needs the Spade key to get into the file storage room. That's where she gets the lighter. In the first floor waiting room, 2 Zeds. I like to soften the first one up with a grenade round. Or 2. And that time we actually busted him apart. Doesn't always happen, though. It's not a guarantee. Now we just have the one to deal with. Just luring him around. It's nice to have an obstacle in the middle. And we got a crit. And into the L corridor. Handgun ammo on this headless corpse. Using the spade key into the file storage. This is the only spade key door in the B scenario. Pushing these metal steps so we can reach the lighter. Into the winding corridor. Got some Zeds breaking through the barricaded windows. Using my last 2 grenades. On the one that dived closest to the door leading into the west stairway. The reason I did that is I thought he would be the one that would be directly in the way of the doors leading into the operations room. So I thought, this is a safe way to take him out. I can reset the room, and then I can just run right into the operations room. However, I was mistaken, because that one is not the one that is closest to this side of the corridor. So I ended up using 2 grenade rounds and not really getting anything out of it. So I decided that I would deal with the other one in a little bit. First, heading upstairs. The west stairway, 2nd floor. We have the statues of the sun and moon. So we can get what would be red jewel number 2, because I typically get red jewel number 1 from the operations room first. Once the statues are in place, we can grab the red jewel. Examining it turns the name into Virgin Heart. There are some items in the game where the name changes when you examine them, which I think is a nice little touch. The Star's office, we are reunited with Leon.
It's good to see you're still among the living. It looks like we're not gonna find your brother here after all. There's no reason for us to stay any longer than necessary. Let's split up, look for any survivors, and get out of here.
Right.
One last thing. Here's a radio. Take it. That way we can keep in touch if anything happens.
With the radio in hand, grabbing the diamond key off Jill's desk and the bow gun out of the locker. And since this is 1998, we're going to receive a fax. The last time that I've ever done anything with a fax machine was the year 2021, so it's been a few years.
Help me!
Back in the STARS office corridor, cutscene with Sherry, but we don't need to follow her. She'll be fine. We need to get the red jewel before continuing. With the bow gun, using it normally is not very effective. However, aiming down at close range, you can actually kneecap zombies. That will put them on the ground, turn them into crawlers, and will despawn when you reset the room. It's a very handy trick for hard mode. In the operations room, got some handgun ammo. And in the back, using the lighter, so we can get the other red jewel. Now the path is clear. And we can move on to the evidence room. But first, going to the dark room for an item box trip. Don't need the lighter. Don't need the red jewels. Using the diamond key to go into the evidence room. Some bowgun bolts. And one of the evidence lockers. And the lockpick to get the plastic bomb, or C4. And into the West office, or information office. We have 4 zombies. And that includes Marvin, since I left Marvin alive in the A scenario. If you take Marvin out in scenario A, there will be 5 police zombies in this room. But 4 is, of course, easier to deal with than 5. So that's why I leave Marvin alone in scenario A. Using the bowgun trick to take the kneecaps out, and then resetting the room. And we're just going to ignore that solitary Zed on the other side of the room. He'll probably miss his friends, but it's fine. He'll be fine. Some handgun ammo on the desk. And then on Marvin's desk, the detonator. This takes care of everything on the west side of the RPD until we come back for RPD 2. From the main hall, going into the east hallway, or the payphone corridor. More bowgun kneecapping. Entering the room, kneecap, reset the room. The first 2 out now that we have some more space. I'm going to try to line up for a double, and I got it. I have enough for 3 more shots. So even if I did not get that double, I would still have enough. But it's always nice to have extra. In the interrogation corridor, using the diamond key for the interrogation room, so we can discard the diamond key. running in and grabbing the Eagle Stone from the shelf in the interrogation room. In the B scenario, grabbing the Eagle Stone will not trigger the liquor coming through the window or mirror. Grabbing the first aid spray, on the other hand, will. Fortunately, this is a no damage run, so we don't need any healing items. Now we're heading back to the helicopter corridor to clear the wreckage so we can go to the office of Chief Irons. Once we're in the office, we'll get a cutscene.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I thought you were another one of those zombies.
Are you Chief Irons?
Yes, that's me. And just who are you? No, don't bother telling me. It makes no difference. You'll end up just like all the others. That's the mayor's daughter. I was told to look after her, but I failed miserably. Just look at her. She was a true beauty. Her skin nothing short of perfection. But it will soon putrefy, and she will turn into a zombie within the hour, like all the others.
There must be some way to stop it.
In a manner of speaking, there is. Either by putting a bullet through her brain, or by decapitating her completely. And to think that taxidermy used to be my hobby. But no longer. Please. I'd really like to be alone now.
Down the corridor, which has the stuffed tiger, into the private collection room for another cutscene. This time, we meet Sherry.
Wait.
Let me go!
Easy, easy there. I'm not a zombie. You're safe now. My name's Claire. What's yours?
Sherry.
Do you know where your parents are?
They both work at the Umbrella Chemical Plant, near the city limits.
The chemical plant? Then what are you doing here?
My mom called and told me to go to the police station because it was too dangerous to stay at home.
From the look of things, I'd say she was probably right. But it's dangerous here as well. You'd better come with me.
But there's something out there. I don't know what it is, but I saw it. Much larger than any of those zombies. And it's coming after me.
What was that?
That's what I was telling you about. It's here.
Sherry, wait!
After the cutscene with Sherry, opening that fancy chest to get some more handgun ammo. And now we're ready to head to the basement.
Chief?
On the chief's desk, got the heart key. In A scenario, there's also handgun ammo. I was just checking to see if that was also the case in B scenario. It is not. Item box, putting away the Eagle Stone. Now to head downstairs to the east office, so we can use the heart key on the only door it's used for. Heart key, opening the door to the Watchman's Corridor, discarding that. In the Watchman's Corridor, a single dog. Dogs can easily be stun locked. Some acid rounds on the shelf. We'll grab those later. In the basement entrance, nothing to fight, just running through to the outside area. Running to the corner on the other side of the manhole. We have 2 dogs to deal with. I'm spacing my shots as I'm waiting for the growl. That way I know they are up and they will take a hit. Heard the growls, took a shot. But I'm not hitting one of them, and I don't exactly know where it's at. And I've got a lot of extra handgun ammo, so I'm not really worried about it. There's one down. And I'm pretty sure the other one is stuck around the corner. So I'm going to reset the room. It's by the door. There we go. Now we got him. Stunlock City. Down the ladder, into the construction zone, and into the storeroom, then back out to trigger the next cutscene with Sherry.
Sherry, I've been looking everywhere for you. I was so worried. We've got to go now, honey, okay? If we stay here, that monster will find us. Let's go.
No, I won't.
What's the matter? Don't you trust me?
It's not that, Claire. It's because of my daddy. He's over there. I heard him call my name. Daddy must have been attacked by the monsters. I have to help him.
Wait, Sherry. Don't go alone. Sherry! Sherry!
Now we get to play as Sherry. She's kind of slow. Fortunately, we only have to play as her for a few minutes. Up the lift to the cesspool walkway. Waiting for those 2 Zeds to be up against the wall so they're not blocking the path. Then just running right by into the cesspool. The only thing zombies can do against Sherry is vomit. They can't grab, they can't dive, they can't do any of that. Once we're in the cesspool, playing a most exciting game of pushing the boxes. Once they're in place, climbing back up so we can fill the pool with water. And with our newly formed bridge, running across, grabbing the club key. And we have a little detour to take before heading back to Claire. We're going to zig and zag over to the other door, to the cesspool entrance. And grab some grenade rounds. More zigging, more zagging. It's easy, it's safe. Back down the lift, and back to Claire. Kind of.
Claire! Are you there?
Sherry, are you okay? Did you find your dad?
Yes, I'm okay. But I couldn't find him. But I did find something else for you. Here! Here's another.
Thanks, sweetie. Now, why don't you come over here? I want you to stay with me.
Claire! I can't reach the ventilation hole anymore. But don't worry, I'll find another way. I can take care of myself.
Wait, Sherry, come back! Sherry! Sherry!
Do you read me, Claire? We now have access to the back of the parking lot.
Got it.
I'm getting out of here and heading to the sewer. Can you meet me there?
I'm on my way.
Claire does not sound the most excited about that. But with the club key in hand, we can continue on. And some grenade rounds. Grenade rounds are good against dogs, which is what I'll be using next. Back in the basement entrance, using the club key to unlock the autopsy room. And we're going to walk, because we have 2 lickers. Just walking straight into this corner. And we are going to wait. We're going to wait until the licker on Claire's right is clear behind her. There we go. And we're going to walk. Grab the red card key. And then just walk straight out. Then into the generator room. We're going to flip the switches. Up, down. Up, up, down. That powers the card reader to the arm storage room. And on the shelf next to the panel, some flame rounds. Using the red card key we just got. And with the power restored, we have access to the arm storage. 2 handgun ammo pickups. acid rounds. And into the locker for an SMG and a side pack. Side pack adds 2 inventory spaces. The SMG takes up 2 inventory spaces. I do not get either of these as Leon, so Claire gets both. Now we can head towards the kennel. Into the parking lot. We have 2 dogs. We're going to dodge them. Running to Claire's left, and then Claire's right. The cell block entrance. 2 dogs. First one gets the grenade, resetting the room. Going to take the other one out with a handgun. And taking him to Stunlock City. In the cells, some bowgun bolts on the shelf. Loading those up into our bowgun, which frees up an inventory space for the crank, which we'll be getting in the next room, in the kennel. The safest way that I found to do this room is to open up with the SMG, get both dogs stunned, hit him with a grenade. One of them tanked it, but then I got a crit with a handgun on the next shot. Now we're done in the basement. Same pattern to dodge the dogs on the way back. Running to Claire's left and then Claire's right. And back upstairs to RPD-2. Acid rounds on the shelf. Club key to open up the Watchman's room. For more acid rounds. On the bedside table. And heading to the nearest save room for the item box. We'll do a little inventory management in a moment. But since we have the SMG, we can stun lock liquors. Because we have this liquor in the way. Just going to aim down and burst fire. It'll just keep stunning it, keep knocking it back. Do the burst fire, can't get to us. Putting the 2 red jewels in place. That opens up the statue. And gets us the blue stone, the left piece. Now with that taken care of, back to the item box for some inventory management, and set up for the next section. Need the lighter, and the crank. The next time I use the grenade launcher, I'll use the acid rounds, and everything else can stay as is. There is also a liquor here, the main hall, second floor, by the ladder. Kind of an awkward camera angle, but we got it. We're heading back to the interrogation corridor. Before using the club key, quick detour into the observation room. Handgun ammo on the shelf here. And a liquor hanging on the ceiling. We can ignore it. Unlocking the press room, discarding the club key. This is what we need the lighter for. And turning on the faucets 12, 13, 11, or middle, right, left. Once those are on, gold cogwheel falls, we try to get it, and X comes crashing in through the wall. Easy escape though. Just grab the gold cogwheel, and away we go. He'll come through the wall again. So we're going to hug the wall on Claire's right and just run by. Quick and easy dodge. And now, since we're not visiting the L corridor or the Watchman's corridor anymore, or some of the rooms around those, we can go to the library. Going through the library triggers this cutscene. But since we don't have to go there, they are no threat to us. Quick detour into the lounge, using the lockpick, opening this desk, some handgun ammo. I finished the game with an abundance of handgun ammo, so I could have actually skipped a lot of those pickups. Main hall, third floor. And into the cog room. Using the crank to lower the stairs. And then up the stairs to the highest point in the RPD. And we're going to use the gold cogwheel. And pressing the switch will move this metal panel out of the way, which has the other half of the blue stone, the right side. Can't jump down the dust chute, though, as Claire, so we're going to head back downstairs. And then back to Chief Iron's office. Trying to re-enter the library, we have our next X encounter. He blocks the path. Going to just run to the corner and let off 6 acid rounds. From my testing, he will always stagger at least once. Most of the time, he staggers twice. But every time I've done it, he has staggered once. I tested this strategy 10 times with several different save files, so he staggered at different points. But as long as I run right to that corner and start firing, he does not reach Claire. Crashing through the walkway with the bookshelf puzzle, we need to move the 2 bookshelves on the left, 1 tick to the right each. With them in place, we have the Serpent Stone, and we have all the pieces that we need. Before returning to the Chief's office, we're done with the lighter for now. All we need are acid rounds in the grenade launcher and the 3 stones.
Claire!
Sherry, you're okay.
I'm glad to see you're safe, Claire.
Claire and Sherry are reunited. And moving that portrait out of the way so we can put down the 3 stones. That portrait looks like it's from a doom metal concert.
Claire!
I'm going down there. Stay here and wait for me, okay?
Down the elevator to a secret underground passage. And into a torture room / taxidermy room for another cutscene with irons.
So you've made it this far. Not bad, girl. But I'm not letting anyone leave my town. Everyone's gonna die.
Calm down, Chief. What happened?
Shut up! You couldn't possibly understand what's happened. Those monsters from Umbrella have destroyed my beautiful town. How could they do that to me after everything I've done for them?
So it's true. You have been working with Umbrella. Then you must know about the G-Virus. What is it? Tell me!
If you must know, it's the agent that can turn humans into the ultimate bioweapons. Superior to the T-Virus in every way. Dr. William Birkin is the genius behind the project.
William Birkin?
I'm sure you've already seen his little girl running around here somewhere. Sherry, isn't it? In case you haven't already figured it out. The monster that's been tearing my precinct apart is yet another product of the G-Virus. An ultimate bioweapon. Umbrella must be trying to cover its tracks. But if I have to go, I'm going to take you with me. What the?
I'm sure he's fine. We'll check on him in a moment. We need these acid rounds first. That's a bit of an unfortunate injury. Surprised he still held onto his gun, though. In this cavernous walkway, we have our first Birkin encounter, G1. And he's going to try to lay some pipe. We don't want that. So we're going to run to the corner by the ladder here, and when his head about crosses that post, we're just going to take a wide angle and run. He'll swing, he'll miss. And 8 acid rounds later, he's done. Now to go back and get Sherry so we can continue on into the sewers.
You came back!
I can't believe the man who developed the G-Virus is actually her father.
What's wrong, Claire?
It's nothing. But I think I found a way out of here. We should be able to find someplace safe if we can just make it out of town.
But...
Don't worry, I'll protect you. I promise. But you have to make sure you don't leave my side.
For some reason, I felt there was more dialogue that was going to happen. And it made me realize that a lot of these conversations in this game just kind of end. Like, I'm expecting to hear something else, but I don't. They just stop. And you notice I'm not running at full speed, because if we get too far away from Sherry, she will just stop. She'll just stop and sit there and wait for you to come back near her before she gets up again.
Come on, let's get out of here.
In the B scenario, we don't have to play as Sherry in the sewers. So we maintain control as Claire. And we head into the control room. Some handgun ammo in the bag on the table, using the lockpick to unlock the warehouse. Bowgun bolts on the shelf opposite of the ladder. A solitary Zed, who is aware of our presence, but doesn't do anything. We leave him alone, he leaves us alone. Fair enough. Grenade rounds on that shelf on the other side of the room. Then down the lift to the T corridor.
What happened? You're bleeding.
I ran into this woman who is in trouble. Her name's Ada. Right after that, someone tried to kill me. Nearly succeeded, too. Ada went after the sniper, but I'm worried about her. You gotta find her before something happens.
But you've been shot.
I'll be okay. It's Ada I'm worried about.
Claire gives the nod and heads off. Up the lift to the other control room. We need the lighter for the other warehouse. Some handgun ammo in this metal toolbox. Pushing this locker out of the way to reveal the door to the other warehouse. It's dark in here, so we need to use the lighter on these oil lamps. First oil lamp gets us grenade rounds. Second oil lamp gets us flame rounds on the shelf. I couldn't remember if I picked up those handgun ammo, so I wanted to double check. Even though, as I mentioned earlier, I have a very large abundance of handgun ammo. Item box inventory organized. Just need the grenade launcher with grenade rounds and the valve handle. In the first sewer passage, two giant spiders scampering around. They're easy to dodge. Sewer passage 2 can be a little bit trickier, since their behavior is so erratic. And we have to climb up the ledge, which can be a bit of a delay. And a cutscene with Annette.
Are you all right? What happened?
Get away from me. You just want my husband's G sample, don't you? But no one will take that away from me. No one.
Husband? Then you must be Annette.
Huh? How did you?
We don't have time for that. Sherry is lost somewhere in the sewer system. I have to find her.
What? I told her to go to the police building. Why is she here? Now Sherry and the G sample are both in danger.
What did she mean by that? Does Sherry have the G sample?
Sherry has a G sample inside of a fake tooth, like a secret agent. In the water pool, using the valve handle to lower the bridge before crossing it and raising it up again. And grabbing the flame rounds next to the typewriter, and going into the service tunnel. In Leon A, I killed the Gator. So the Gator does not appear in Claire B. Now in Leon A, or Claire A, in the A scenario in general, you can just shoot the Gator without using that canister to scare it off, and then it will reappear in the B scenario. No real reason to do that, unless you somehow miss the tank. But that is what happens. Across the bridge, upper walkway, grabbing the Eagle Medal, and using the valve handle to slow down the fan so we can get through the ventilation tunnel. There are several large roaches in here. If they get on Claire, they do not do damage, but if enough of them gang up on her, then it will result in a game over. They will kill her. Back in the first sewer passage, in the alcove, grabbing the wolf medal and flame rounds. Then heading back to sewer passage number 2. The spiders in this room were replaced with 3 sleeping Zeds who will wake as we pass. They're easy to run by. In the second sewer passage, we still have the 2 giant spiders. And putting the Eagle and Wolf medals in this panel, which shuts off the waterfall and drains the water. And we're out of the sewers. Running through this maintenance passage into the cable car platform. We need to retrieve the cable car, or the Skytram, as it's also called, from the other platform. And once we do that, we will get a cutscene and be reunited with Sherry once again.
Sherry, you're okay. Sherry, did your mom give you something called G-Virus? Either a vial or a test tube?
G-Virus? I've never heard of anything like that before.
Are you absolutely sure? If you give it to me, I'll hold on to it for safekeeping.
But I really don't have anything. It's the truth.
But why would her mom say something like that?
Now that we have Sherry, we can get on the Skytram and head to the factory. On the other platform, the weapon box key in the corner, you can use the lighter to light that flare, which will make the weapon box key shine, but you don't have to do so. In the first factory tunnel, we have 4 zombies to deal with. And this is an exception to what I mentioned earlier about the grenade rounds not being very effective against zombies. But it only applies to these 2 factory tunnels here. And the reason is because Sherry is with us, and zombies do not have an attack programmed for Sherry, so they cannot become crawlers, they cannot become landmines, and they can't dive at us. So when they hit the ground, if they were to become a crawler or a landmine in any other room, they simply bleed out. So we don't have to worry about them diving at us. Now there were 2 Zeds that I skipped in the first factory tunnel because I do not go for the spark shot. I've routed it to where I don't need the spark shot at all, and I still have plenty of ammo left over. Tunnels are clear. Up the ladder to the turntable control room.
Sherry, wait here. I'm going to check it out by myself.
Okay, I'll wait here, but hurry back.
We got some flame rounds and acid rounds. And we need 6 acid rounds. Done with the valve handle. Reorganizing the inventory. 6 acid rounds exactly. And into the marshalling yard. Handgun ammo on the oil drums. Taking the lift down so we can go to the hydraulic monitor room. Now in this room, what I meant to do was grab the up key. I did not mean to trigger the monitor, because it triggers Mr. X early, and it creates a very disorienting static. So instead of looking at the static, you can see my reaction when I realized that I accidentally triggered the monitor scene. And I did not know where X would be positioned, and I thought I was going to lose the run. But I got it. I was spamming the confirm key, thinking I was going to grab the up key. Made a mistake. Did not cancel out of the monitor confirmation, just went right into it. But that's okay. One thing I like doing for my runs, when I get the runs and I have them recorded and I commentate them, is showing what can go wrong and that you can still win. Now that we have the up key, we can bring the turntable back up, as the key implies.
Okay, Sherry, let's go.
And we have our next boss fight coming up. And I will be using the flame rounds. The D key is already in the control panel, so we can just press the button.
Claire? What was that?
Don't worry. Just wait here. I'll go and see what it was.
Before we go outside, in the operator's compartment, some more flame rounds. In the A scenario, we fight Birkin G2. In the B scenario, we fight Birkin G3. If I did have the spark shot, this would be the only fight that I would use it for, but I find the flame rounds to be better. I need 14 of them. Opening up right away with the flame rounds. We get a nice series of staggers. And when we get too far away from G, he will jump. And then sometimes he'll just jump randomly. So I missed a shot, and that's okay. We've got plenty of extras. Baiting out the jump, so I can get in the position that I want to be in. Waiting for him to come around the corner. And there we go. He's done. I only missed once, so he used 15 flame rounds.
Isn't this...
That's okay. You keep it. I'm sure it'll keep you safe. Wait here for me, okay? I'm going back to look for your mom.
Thanks, Claire. Even though I'm an only child, neither of my parents ever spent much time with me because of their work. But now that you're with me, I finally have someone to rely upon.
Sherry.
As soon as we are in the elevator corridor, the turntable is going to continue its descent into the labs. And we're going into the steam room. Thought I might have needed the item box, but I did not. Not yet. There are a number of liquors down in the labs, so we'll be using the SMG quite a bit. But first, we have our next round of pushing the box. On the lift, lower the lift, and then push it into position. And it needs to be pushed as far north as it can go. Down the lift into the smelting room. We have 2 evolved liquors. Tried to get their attention with the handgun. Didn't work. So I used a flame round. And that liquor did not take any stun, so it charged me. Quickly switched to the SMG, aimed down, started firing. Thought I was going to get swiped there. Fortunately, the second one was walking towards me, so I could just engage it with the SMG like normal. Now the elevator is powered up, we can head back to the elevator corridor. But before we do that, we have some flame rounds in the corner here, next to the typewriter. As I was going through the door, I realized that I needed the bow gun. So now we're at the item box. saving the acid rounds for later. And getting the bowgun loaded up. And down the elevator we go. Outside of the security office here, by the turntable, we have 5 test subject Zeds. Botched a couple of those shots, but that's okay. 3 left after resetting the room. And then I decided to use up some of my abundant handgun ammo. Got a couple of crits. 2 crits and 9 shots. Make that 3 crits and 12 shots. That's more like it. And into the security room. Some flame rounds on the desk. And handgun ammo in the locker. Running through the main shaft to the east area, the blue side. And into the cold room. Grabbing the fuse case off the cart. And using it on this control panel to create the main fuse. Watching this robotic arm at work. With the main fuse in hand, back to the main shaft. With the rest of the lab powered up, into the west area, the red area. Down the hall and into the sleeping quarters. Bowgun bolts in the locker. And the anti-BOW gas, the P-epsilon gas. Using the epsilon gas will weaken the enemies. However, if you use it in the A scenario, the enemies will be stronger in the B scenario. So I do not use it at all in the A scenario. Also, the IVs will become poison IVs in B scenario if the gas is used in the A scenario. Opening the shutter, resetting the room. First IV dodge, just running to Claire's left, hugging the wall right behind the Ivy. Then down the ladder. And into the central corridor. We have 3 evolved lickers to deal with. We're going to walk until the first one drops. Burst fire. Second one following right behind them. sometimes that second licker can take a bit to get around the corner. That time it did not. Resetting the room, so we can reset the position of the third licker. I don't like waiting around for it, or running into the wall to try to lure it over. There it is. Just gonna walk up to it, aim down, burst fire. Down the hall, and into the monitor room. Contemplated what I want, but I already have everything I need. Through the lab entry corridor and into the P4 lab. Got some more test subject zombies to take out. I thought about using the handgun since I have so much ammo, but I don't need these bowgun bolts for anything else. So instead, I'm going to kneecap and reset the room. There are a total of 5 Zeds in this lab. We only really need to take out 3 to be safe. Trying to lure the 2 that I want into position. There's number 2 down. Luring number 3 away from his friend so I don't accidentally get ankle grabbed. They go right into landmine mode. They don't start crawling for some reason. There's number 4 and 5. They don't aggro, so we can just run right on by, grab the power room key, and run out. Well, it looks like one of them aggroed on the way out, but we're so far ahead of him, and he's not a threat. Using the weapons box key gets us 2 packs of grenade rounds. Which I don't end up using, but I thought I might. And being this far into the run, wanted to play it safe.
Annette!
Where's Sherry?
But I asked her, and she's never even heard of the G-Virus before.
Which room? Tell me. Sherry!
No! Annette!
The sample's inside the pendant Sherry's wearing.
And Annette just fades off screen. No door sound or anything. Back in the central corridor, an evolved licker will drop from the ceiling. Just going to run, hug the wall to Claire's left. And we are so far gone before the licker even realizes what happened. Back up the ladder to the west area. Ivy dodge, running, taking a wide arc. And we're heading back to the steam room so we can get to the power room where Sherry's at. And before we enter the power room, I want to give a heads up that during the cutscene, the screen will start flashing. And it will flash for a minute or so after that.
Sherry! Help me, Claire! The monster's after your pendant. Throw it to me! Good girl. Now run, Sherry. As for you, come and get it. I've got what you want. Come on. Here. This is what you're looking for, right? Fine. Then go get it.
Warning. Flashing screen.
Sucker.
The self-destruct sequence has been activated. Repeat, the self-destruct sequence has been activated. This sequence may not be aborted. All employees proceed to the emergency car at the bottom platform.
Sherry, where are you? Where is she?
Now we're done with the power room. And we are now at the end game. Just a handful of enemy and boss encounters left.
Mom! Mom!
Sherry, you have to escape. I know I've been a terrible mother, but I still love you. Forgive me.
Mom!
Sherry, we have to go now.
After the cutscene, picking up the master key from Annette, and then Sherry gets up and runs as if nothing happened. Now we can use the master key on the panel, where it looks like it says KBBC 3 Men Gorilla Stance in the box in the bottom left-hand corner. That's all I can see. And this will bring us to the very bottom of the lab. And we have just a few rooms left.
Now you wait here, okay? I'll go and get this thing moving.
Running to the back of the train for one of the final item boxes. Grabbing the platform key off the ground. Just grabbing all the weaponry we have. We don't need most of it. In fact, all that's left in the box is the knife, the valve handle, and the lighter. That's it. And all I need are 2 acid rounds, a handful of flame rounds, about 40% of the SMG, and of course the rocket launcher. Using the platform key to get onto the main platform and start the 5-minute countdown.
5 minutes until detonation.
Up the stairs, over the train, and down to the other side. Grabbing the joint S and the joint N plug. And onto the power control platform, where we are going to set the plugs that we just picked up in classic Resident Evil fashion, making sure we have inventory space for the rocket launcher. But we've got to deal with the Super Tyrant. Once we have control, holding up, left, and running all the way to the corner, turning around, and as soon as we see the Super Tyrant go into frame, we can fire 2 acid rounds. Now we took a stagger, so we've got some time waiting for him to get a little closer before running to Claire's left again. Running straight to the rocket launcher, equipping it, aim, fire.
You lose, big guy.
With the Super Tyrant out of the way, all we have left are 5 zombies and the final boss. Back on the gate platform, just going to start launching flame rounds. Just firing, listening, auto-aim checking, and resetting the room to be on the safe side. This is how I get when I get to the very close to the end of a run. I get exceedingly careful. Turning the switch to open up the gate. Gates open, train's powered up. Moving the lever. And we're almost out of here.
What was that?
That's where I would normally say, and we're out of here. But that was not the case.
Biohazardous outbreak imminent. The emergency system has been activated. This train will detonate. Repeat, this train will detonate.
No! What's wrong with this thing?
I don't know. The door won't open.
Heading to the back of the train to investigate. Get interrupted by a tentacle. There he is, Birkin, G5, final form, final boss. This boss is very easy. Just gonna run by the door, fire off the rocket, switch to the SMG, aim and fire. It takes about 40% SMG to take him out. And if we didn't have enough SMG, we have a ton of handgun ammo, several flame rounds, grenade rounds, bowgun bolts, even a couple acid rounds. He's done. Now we're out of here.
Warning, warning. The self-destruct system has been activated. Each train compartment will detonate sequentially. Repeat, each train compartment will detonate sequentially.
Leon, stop the train!
I can't. The door to the control room is locked.
What is it?
Sherry, get back! That's what I call ugly. Claire! Where are you?
You don't give up, do you?
Sherry! What are you doing?
We have to stop the train, right? I can do it.
Sherry! Persistent, aren't you? Well, come and get it!
Which one's the right switch? Maybe this one?
Sherry!
Claire! Ah!
Can't hold on much longer.
Push the switch over there!
Got it!
Ugh. Finally.
Are you okay, Sherry?
I'm okay.
Where's Leon? Leon? Leon!
Right here.
Leon!
You're both safe. Just die. We've got to get out of here. Move it! Go! That was a close one. That was pretty impressive back there, Sherry.
It was nothing. I saw someone do that on TV once.
Come on. We've got to move out.
Now what's the problem? Is something following us?
Hey, we still have a job to do. Let's go.
Go? Oh, you can't mean.
Chris, I have to find you.
Roll credits. That concludes this No Save No Damage run of Resident Evil 2 Classic, PC Source Next version, Claire B, Original Mode, Hard Difficulty, S Rank, with a completion time of 1 hour, 34 minutes, and 5 seconds. Thanks for watching.